right at the dolmen site on Blackjack's domain, the North Mound. My dog Blackjack and I used to come hang. And now Ace and I do our laps and our loops, and I'm going to be doing some dog sledding soon. So I'm going to just try to open this up and open up some line of sights for the archaeology work as well. And I'm in here now, probably going to make a little bonfire, clear up some of this stuff, and then try to put the trails back in because stuff got messed up. But the point was, I just wanted to quickly show this from this perspective as I bounce up and down on this log. We have this dolmen site here, and I've gone through the celestial alignments before and just did another little recap that I might cut down. And there's a tumulus that surrounds this. So all sorts of things going on here, and you can definitely see, as I'm about to fall off here, definitely see the pattern of this circle up in here. And then, as I've talked about before, there's the cistern is right over there. The base, the drain into it. As I posit these two large stones over there. So that sits down in here, parabola. Whether it's effigied in this rock carving here or not, I don't know. The winter solstice sunrise is up there, and the summer solstice sunrise is up there, and it comes across here. And winter solstice sunrise sets. Winter solstice set is over there, and the summer solstice set is over here. So equinox due west there, equinox east rising there. You can see the mountains of the Worcesters behind us, and I think that was land shaped to represent these events as well. I'm almost certain now, as I'm understanding it from having hiked that Skyline Trail, been this trail adopter up there for many decades. It's been a while, but the state crews are now really cranking, and the site of our trailer was over here, and one of the state crew trail leaders was living there for a while, and that's actually his canoe. But the reality is, the state archaeologist hasn't shown up, so we can't really try to convince the state this is worth protecting, because they don't seem to care. And if nobody's going to care, then I will. And so I'm going to do the work and make sure that we're digging appropriately, so we're not destroying any kind of archaeological evidence and trail. But when you have a 60-ton plus dolmen site, or even the looks of what could have been a dolmen that got knocked over, because clearly they're not sitting on top of each other, as you would see in many of the old school dolmen sites in Europe and whatnot, but also in Korea and all over Asia and all over Mongolia and Russia. And then there's the whole southern hemisphere and yada, yada, yada. So it's not like it's a thing specific to this area. Dolmens go back to a Paleolithic era. And there's a lot for us to discover there, but apparently there's some people in traditional archaeology that just do not like alternative narratives. So is what it is. We have spoken with native and indigenous cultures, and they are very much in line with, or aligned, I should say, because I think we're in line with the idea that, all these cultures that have been here are culturally representing these effigies of dragons and Ouroboros and snake effigies that are human ancestral connections to a pagan culture that goes far deeper than all of us, and only pagan because they looked at the sun and the moon and studied all of the astronomy in order to figure out stuff. And I think we've detached ourselves from that because history has taught us to literally dumb ourselves down, so we don't know what happened before us, so that property ownership can actually be a more credible idea to people, because the idea is somehow rooted in taking from other people, and if you take from other people, then you want to erase their history so that they don't actually show actual papers of authenticity. And that's unfortunately a sick group of people live in that reality and force the rest of us to live that way. It is what it is. So yeah, this is my farm. I own it in the sense that I own it, but like I've said to the Odanak and Wabanaki who are being denied tribal recognition here in Vermont, because it's easier just to work with one group that will make the politicians in power feel really good about themselves, and it won't challenge their ideas of history. It's easier. But like, we have the evidence to suggest that this culture of people that are being state denied as far as recognition actually have a real claim to being stewards of land in Vermont far, far, far longer than colonials. So is what it is. And we're just a cooperative group of people trying to make good, positive things happen here on our farm. And it just so happens to link to an ancient civilization that a lot of people that are really busy making money for their people that make money, they're all too busy making money to really try to study the actual data and the science. So it is what it is. Most people that know mound sites recognize, there's like a mound here, and then there's another tiered terrace down below. So it fits all the parameters. And I guess the other thing I was going to do was just kind of showcase how once you open up a little bit of the parabola, you get to kind of hear. I'm wondering if that video is just going to suck because it was so bouncy. Maybe. We'll see. But aside from almost spraining my ankle, or maybe spraining my ankle, I'm going to just come over here as where it sees. So this is like the tumulus. You get this like little swale in between this massively oriented rock structure. And then, so come through here. And what we'll do is sort of get back on this trail of the parabola. And let's come over here to where I've been working today, just to show a couple more sort of rock loops. Interesting stuff. But once you get to, and again, this is literally just right in line with, there's just so much more rock there that connects over to the parabola. But, let me just do this here really quick, kind of an inventory of stuff that's unearthing here. And so you might not be able to hear it on the phone, but the slapback delay is just phenomenal. And it moves, so the milliseconds gain as you get closer to the center point. I'm not exactly sure. I got to study it with some processing equipment, but the parabola, I think, takes the frequencies and creates this slapback delay, which I kind of want to put multiple microphones on and then just tweak them all just so that there's like a surround sound that takes an original note and throws it on this parabola that takes you just in a delayed mode. And then that's the song, it just keeps rotating around with just that delay pattern, setting the tempo, maybe shifting, I don't know. But I'm looking forward to that. That was a really nice surprise of today. The South Mound has something similar to it as far as transferring the original notes across the meadow and back, which I've recorded before, but this is a new spot, so I'm pretty stoked. Anyway, I hope everybody's well, and I'm wishing everybody peace today.